Hi, good evening once again. My name is Rosalin and I'm the founder of Africa Dyslexia Organisation. And today I am very happy to have here with me Sabina, whom I connected with like 8, 9 months ago, I think, somewhere last year. I think almost a year now when we connected via a mutual friends. And then I remember the first time I spoke with her and she was like, Rosalyn, I need help. Like I need help. I have a child and I don't know what to do. And that's the conversation we are going to go in today. And that brings him to the picture because of that conversation, for her to be connected to Ida Brown, who is a special educator, fantastic one. And within the space of 6 to 7 months have been able to transform our beloved boy into a happy student now. And I can't wait for them to share about the experience, the journey, and all that. And I will start here with Sabina, who is a parent of the boy I'm talking about. He's a brilliant boy. To share to us, like, Sabina, how was the journey like? How did all this started before we got here today?
Hello, everyone. Good evening from my side of the world. I got to know about my child's inability to read and write as early as 4 years, when he was 4, 5, because there were lots of delays with his development stages. And then I keep comparing him to other kids. And I see my child not being able to do what a lot of kids are doing at his age. And I kept complaining, and then family, friends would tell me, oh, I should just allow him. He's just a little boy. Everyone has its own unique development stages, so he will catch up. I should allow him. But then something just keep pressing so hard. There's something wrong. He's not able to identify things easily as other kids. The moment you allow him to, or you put him on sports, then you see a lot of frustration all over. He's just looking for ways to dodge from activities. He doesn't want to. He appears smart, bright, but he doesn't, when it comes to reading or writing, anything that has to do with school book, he doesn't want to participate. So I kept on, and then with the school authorities where he was schooling then, I complained, and then it was something that they had also seen. So they tried to manage him by moving him from one position to the other. As he progresses to other classes, he was struggling, and we had to do all sorts of classes, extra classes, just to assist him come up, but it wasn't working. I also noticed that because other kids were labeling him, he stopped enjoying school. In the morning, every morning he will cry. He doesn't want to go to school. Anything that has to do with school classroom settings, he doesn't want to see it. But you allow him to play or give him a space with visuals, with arts, with drawings, colorful things, then you see that he comes out very happy and he's all over the place. So fast forward, when he was 8 years, he could barely write his name in full without turning letters upside down or mixing some of the letters. And then maths, no, you won't get him to write anything. When he brings homework home, you can't make a meaning out of it to even to assist him do it. So every time you have to be calling teachers to explain to you before you be able to assist him to do the work. I thought he was being lazy. So because I used to scold him a lot, he started throwing his books over, hiding his homework books, Every time you have to look for the homework book somewhere, you won't find it, you have to buy a new one. And then it continues. So in 2019, they had a long vac. And when they came back home, the results was ready in school. We picked up, and then what I saw, I didn't like it. The results was, he was last but one in class, almost all the subjects except creativity. So I kept complaining, and then I decided to find out, why is my child not performing? He has everything that he needs to study, but he's not performing. Something is wrong somewhere. Then family members will come in. He's fine, he's just a little boy. Allow him. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was a psychologist, and I told him about it. He encouraged me to get him assessed. He could be dyslexic. That was the first time I heard about the word dyslexic. I never know any, in fact, I haven't heard anything about it before. I don't know what it is and all that. So after I had a conversation with this, I decided to go straight to the net to check what is it a disease? Is it a sickness? What is it? I want to know something about it. And then who is a dyslexic? How does it affect a child? And so I had a whole lot of information. And then I saw a whole lot of prominent people who are dyslexic, and they are doing amazingly well. So there I got a bit encouraged, and then I decided to pursue to get the screening and then the assessment done. Finally, it was confirmed that he is dyslexic. And then we were given recommendation and guided intervention to use to help him to transform. After my report was given, there came my biggest challenge, confusion. I didn't know where to go, who to talk to. In fact, I don't know anybody who is dyslexic. And I quickly ran to search. I wanted to search, maybe there's somebody around, maybe there's an association. So I went on the net, and then I found information. And then that's when I got to know about you, Rosalin. So I read your article, and as I was reading, I was just seeing myself and my child in what you were saying. I was just reading about him, all about what you were saying. Then I decided to get in touch with you. And also the second challenge was to get help with any special educator to help him. It's so scarce in Ghana. And the few you get, they are so busy, it's very difficult to get them around. So you are forced to take them to either schools that they have, and those schools are not many because we don't have a lot of teachers with the background in special needs. I finally decided that I will still continue with the search, and a friend introduced me to Ida, who is a special educator. So we had a conversation, and then we had a meeting. She came over and had a meeting with the boy. And after her interactions with the boy, she said, yes, he is dyslexic. The task is huge, but not much. Those were her words. We can do it together. It's doable. Thank God he's not all grown. He's still a boy. He's still in the learning stage. We can bring in a whole lot of things to transform him. But I need you on board with me so we can do it together. So they started their section from different way of learning, different way of teaching. At times you see them on the floor, sitting on the floor, just to get him around, to be open to study. He started using hands-on activities, which he already enjoys, colors. And one thing I noticed is she uses to celebrate every little success, every little progress. So that's, I would say, exploded him all out. He became so excited so confident, so happy. And now somebody who doesn't want to go to school, that every morning we have to battle about school, is the first person to wake up and say, I am going to school. Even if he is not well and you don't want him to go to school, he will not allow. He will still persist. He wants to go to school. So this is how the journey has been. And I know that it is dyslexic, you are born dyslexic and you die dyslexic. It is something that you grow with. You have to discover yourself to know how to use your superpowers to your advantage. And that is what we have done to bring Yofi out well, so happy. Either he's here, either can tell you a whole lot about Yofi. He's happy now. That is my achievement, getting my child to be happy and be able to learn. So that's how it has been.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Neofi is a lucky boy. Yes, I mean, the intervention, you were looking for ways and not finding it, but I feel like it's better now than never. And I'm so happy that he's happy today. And things are going well. Before I come to Miss Aida, I'd like to know, like, you as your family in the beginning, when you were trying to figure out what could be the issue with Neofi, how was the situation like for you? Did you take it lightly? Did you feel, oh, it's okay? How was like your relationship as a family, dad and mom and siblings? How was your relationship towards him, and how did he feel?
As a family, it was a struggle for all of us to accept that he wasn't doing well in school. And because of that, I also noticed they were all screwing to one side and he'll be left alone. Especially if I'm not home, he'll be the first to be calling you because there's company in the house, but he doesn't feel belong. Because when he gets around the other siblings, it's either they have picked one book or the other or doing something. And then since he cannot match up with them, he doesn't even want to go there. It was a struggle. And the biggest struggle was to get help, where to start from, who to talk to, who to assist us. We don't know what to do. And then we're just hoping that one day we wake up and all our worries will be alleviated. But you wake up and it's there, until I decided to pursue and get help. And now the whole family has come around. Everybody's supporting him or one way or the other. Everyone is supporting him. We all understand him now. When the final report was given, I had a meeting with everybody in my home to tell them that this is the challenge. This is what we have. Let's see how best we can to use our weakness and turn our weakness to become our biggest opportunity and advantage. He cannot do it alone. We have to help him to be able to do it. And besides, he's one of us. So let's embrace him. Let's no one label him. Let's no one bully him. We shouldn't allow anybody. If we are able to encourage him from home and he gets the confidence that he needs, when he goes out there and someone is saying something about him, he'll be bold enough to stand and defend himself because he knows the family supporting. And that is what we have done and we are doing every day by encouraging him in as much as he's not there yet. The progress from then and now, I can say it's about 90%. He's improved a lot, and he's doing so well in everything. Yesterday, I was out of town. I just came yesterday, and the moment I entered, he was the first to come to me. I was able to do my math homework alone, and I was second in this. he will tell you so that you celebrate him. Then the moment you cheer him up, then you have urged him to move and do more. So he will always come to you. And if I'm not around, he does to everybody, you know. So everybody is open to him to celebrate him. With that, it has given him so much confidence. It has boosted him up, and he's doing so well. So the family we were lost, I would say, in the beginning, but now, since we understand and know what to do, we are supporting him, and it's yielding the results.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, and so well done to your family. I'm so happy, and I thank God for you, and for also having such a son and having such a parent as well, because often in times the home breaks us a lot than even the school, especially when you expect your parents who can understand you, and they don't seem to understand you. So then how more if you as a parent, you don't understand your child, but you expect the school to understand. Yeah, to understand. It is when you understand, that is the only way you're going to advocate for your child to have better treatment. And I'm so happy you did that. We'll come back again to listen to Neofi, like his soft, like his skills that he have at home. But I know about it because we talk all the time, but I would want you to share, because he's an amazing kid. And parents sometimes overlook that and be like, oh, all I'm interested in is your score, academic score, and forgetting that your son can be something that even greater in the house, because Neofi fixed laptops and all that hardware is his gift. So parents should be mindful of such, just hammering on the result from school. Now, Ida, thank you so much for being like the pillar in between all this thing, and helping to shape Neofi, because I know it's in the space of 6 to 7 months since you started this journey with him. And I hear the incredible. I remember I was actually on the hospital bed when Sabina sent me a voice note like, my son can read now. Rosalin, my son can read now. And I was sick. But the thing gave me so much joy that I couldn't believe. And I want to know, how did you do it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's an individual task. That I can't say. It's actually a collective responsibility. It's a combination from my end, from UOF's end, from the parents, and also from school too. We all had to work together in the sense that each one has a role to play. Each one has a piece to put up in the whole puzzle that we are trying to fix. And just as puzzles have different sections and would always need somewhere to put something in, everyone also had to put in something to be able to fix it. Not fix it completely, because it's not fixable in that sense, but at least make sure that we get it to a place where we can start building on from there. And that is what we've done so far. Well, I first met Yofi last year in August. So I keep reminding him each and every month that we've built on something. So at least if we've had this for this month, what's our next target? What's the next thing we'll be able to achieve next year, the next month? And that is what we've been doing. And so far, it's been working. Although it's been challenging. There are times we fight. We have our normal fights. That one, everybody in the house understands. And when we have our fights, mommy doesn't get in, daddy doesn't get in, no one gets in. It's between Yofi and I. Then we solve our issues and we get back again. We get back again and we continue. And if we fight, he would make sure that everybody who knows about that fight doesn't say a thing, because if you say something, it's going to push it to you. So you make sure you're quiet and it's handled between he and I. When we sort our issues out, and if mommy tries to say something, it's like, no, don't say it. We solved it. So yes, we keep progressing. it's a gradual process, but we're moving on, small.
That is beautiful. I love how you're working with him. But if you could also explain to us, for us to understand, what different mechanism do you use in teaching students with learning difficulties that you think the normal classroom do not have, or teachers do not possess, that they are not able to help our students who have challenges with learning?
Okay, so far what we do in our normal schools and in our normal classrooms has to do with the root form of learning, where sometimes a child is given a task to do. You read, you finish, you reproduce the answer. And with this, it's not every child who is able to even understand what he or she has read. There are times where I incorporate videos, the watching of videos. Sometimes you'd see Yofi and I watching a video. You think we are just watching it for fun. But in the end, I have my reason for giving him that video. There is something I need him to get out of it. And we always make sure we achieve that goal. In our normal classrooms also, there are times where we tend to, aside using the visual aids, be it videos or the charts, or sometimes making him draw up things. There are times I just give him a homework where I say, just draw this thing for me. I need a drawing of this, or I need a drawing of that. That's all I give him. And he would come up with very creative ideas. Ones that myself, I have no knowledge of. He would come up with it, and he would even teach me what exactly is in it. Sometimes I would ask him to, let's say it's a story I read out to him, and I need to know how well he has understood that story. Knowing that he is very good when it comes to drawings, creative arts, and all that, I make sure I utilize that potential that he has. In that, I can tell him that, Yofi, I need you to tell me what you've understood by putting it in your own way, the best way you think you can. And what is the best way for him? He wants to art it up. So come up with the artwork for me. I'd love that. And I have noticed that it's not just with him. With other students I have dealt with also who are also dyslexic, some of them have, their auditory skills are higher. So then I make sure I utilize those parts. If your visual perception is also the best, I hit on that, because I need to use what you have to bring out what I can get out of you. There are times too where, when his mom was talking, she made mention that we sit on the floor. Yes, we sit on the floor. And you would come and you would notice he and I sitting on the floor. Sitting on the floor playing with things. To you, we are playing. But to us, we know what we are achieving. So with other kids who are also dyslexic that I work with, sometimes I'll tell the parents, I don't want a table and a chair, and I don't need the board. I want a practical hands-on something. There are times we need to create something. Let's say we pick up pieces of your trash. The trash, you feel it's nothing. Maybe the papers and things around. We take it up, we mold it, and we use it as things, as a resource. And this resource is valuable to me, and it's valuable to my students also. So we make use of those ones also. Aside that, I don't need you to give me exactly what I have said. Let's say I give you a task to do, you've read something, and I want to know how well you've understood the thing. In our normal classrooms, the comprehension, the teacher would ask you to come up with the words. I don't need that. What I rather need is that any single thing that you understood out of it, please tell me. And please tell me can be in varied ways. Whichever way you're comfortable with, we work alongside with it. But gradually, because our normal school settings are not like that, there are times when I even need to meet up with the teachers that handle these students. And with the teachers, I explain my goal. I need you to help me because I can't work alone. The parents can't work alone. The child can't work alone. And then one force is out. It wouldn't help. So then I would need to take that extra effort, meet up with the teacher, explain what our goal is. And at times I even would, if you agree to it, I would even come up with an IEP for you. The IEP being an individual educational plan. And this educational plan is a target that I know a child can achieve within this space or that space. So we set up a target within a month. This is what we would want to do. We would want to be able to at least know these sounds, work with these sounds. So then we state it there and we work with that. So gradually we make sure we achieve our goal. All that aside, when I notice that you've been able to achieve a target, I need to make sure that you are motivated to keep coming up with more. Keep coming up with more in what sense? I need to motivate you. We have several reward systems that we use. And these reward systems are all there, just set in place so that it motivates the child to give off the best. There are times when it can be a simple candy. To the parent or to an outsider, this is just something small. It wouldn't even cost a cedi. But the child knowing that, you've thought about me, you brought this to me alone, you've done it. There are times when I would set a target for Yufi and then I'll tell Yufi, I need you to achieve this. But when I was coming today, I had this in my things. So then I lay the things on the table. If you want to get it, you need to work for it. And he knows that you work to achieve whatever thing you achieve. I won't just give you anything for fun. No, it's not possible. I won't do that. So then what he does is that, okay, he knows he has a target to reach. And that day, he would do more than you even expect. He would exceed his targets to an extent that even me, I get surprised. And then I tell his mom that, hey, today, this is what we wanted, but then it looks like my boy has exceeded what I even thought he would do for me. So then I increase the gifts that you're getting. I increase it for you so that you know that, oh, so the next time I do something better, I will get something more. And with that reward system also, it's been working and it's been working pretty well.
I keep smiling. Like, when you were talking, I was like, yeah, these were the things I was expecting to receive when I was young. But it was all about, oh, what score did you get? What score did you get? And then being laughed at or being insulted for not performing in school. Yeah, we love praises. And you know why we love praises? Because it takes such hard time to be able to produce something. And so for me, if my efforts, like even when I come to the Africa Dyslexia room and I post stuff and people don't say anything, I'm like, okay, it's because it's a passion I have and I want to raise the awareness. If not, I would have collapsed the group and gone because I'm not getting the motivation I need, because our motivation comes in praise. Because we in the past, people have told us we're not good or what, they don't recognize that our efforts. So even as an adult sitting here, if I do something and I don't get that words of affirmation and praise, then I feel like the same old things are being like said to me again. And so I lose concentration and I lose my interest and I stop. But like I said, it's because I am meant that the awareness will go far. If not, I would have stopped what I'm doing long time ago because I'm not. I don't know if you understand me. So yes, you are so right with Neofi. Like even with just a sweet and saying well done, that's all that we need in our life. And I remember, if I could just share my life, when my dad was like, oh, I don't know, you're not good, you're this, and taking me to school and telling the proprietress I'm not good and therefore he really doesn't have any expectation of me. And he left and it turned out to be different because I'm now in an environment where I love what I was doing. I was doing catering. So I love when practicals and hands-on stuff. I loved it. And so when I started performing, and the woman called him and said, "You're actually wrong. Your daughter is very good. She is performing." And listen, those words, like that little words the woman said to me, is the replica of what you are seeing today. Because she said that I'm actually good and that my dad is wrong. That sets me on fire. And I'm like, okay, now that I hear I'm good, I'm going to run with it. And it's been a challenging journey, but it's also been rewarding. And so if you have such child in your house, in your school, please, the words we say to them amounts a lot. And so we have to be very mindful of that. And I always say, when in the moments when you don't have anything else to say or to do, just show love. Showing love and kindness doesn't take much effort. Just show love, but refrain from picking on them, refrain from calling names. It doesn't help. A parent shared with me just this year, about 3 months ago, where a child, and Ida, you are preview to this conversation because we were on the call with that parent, and a teacher telling the parents, "I don't think your son is good, so take him out of school and go and find a trade for him to do." I mean, I feel like that's the, sorry to use, but the craziest thing as a teacher you will tell somebody to take their child out of school. It is crazy. But well done, Ida. We'll come back to you again. Sabina, can you tell us some of the things Neofi is very good at, even at the moment when he wasn't performing in school?
Neofi will fix anything electrical. It was becoming so alarming that I have to tell him the consequences of his actions. When something is not working, the moment she said, "Oh, this iron is not working," the next minute you see him with screwdriver and pliers trying to undo, and trying to unfix everything, and he will fix it. There was an instance where we had a chargeable lamp, and the chargeable lamp was not working properly anymore. So I had just kept it in a corner, decided that I will get a new one. I was not home when the lights went out. And then they picked it and realized I wasn't working. So instead of him to put it down, he took it and went to the room and took a phone, on the touch of the phone, to have some light with him, and was just trying to undo the cables and turn it. So he fixed everything in the plug and then on the plug. Some few minutes later, the lights came back and he was standing there jubilating, because now the light, when you put the lamp on, the lamp on plug, and the lamp is charging, the red light is on. So he was very excited when I opened the door, and then he was going back, and I asked him, "What are you doing?" The moment he shows some long face, then you know that he's being mischievous about something. Then I quickly grabbed him and I realized that he had a plier with him, a screwdriver, and I asked him, "What are you doing with these things?" I just checked on the floor and I realized that he's cut wires, he's cut some of the things and tried to fix it. "What were you cutting?" And said, he just pointed that to me, the chargeable lamp. And I said, "You did this?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Hey, you can get electrocuted. Don't play with electricity. I know that is what you want to do, but don't play with it. It can kill you. And you are not wearing slippers." "I'm sorry, but I did it." And I said, "I know, well done, but please don't play with it again." He will pick pieces of papers and sit in one corner and create stuff. He created something and I asked him, "What is this?" He said, "A sewing machine." And he was explaining to me where you put your foot. It is not the normal hand sewing machine. It's a foot one. When you sit here, you can operate it from here. Yofi is somebody who can just look at a situation or a problem at a glance and then tell you ways of fixing it. He will tell you, "We can do it this way, we can do it this way, we can do it that way." And then he can even guide you to the steps how you'll be able to do it. And the moment it's achieved, you see him jubilating, you see him so happy. And then you tell, yes, I am also good at something. I said, yeah, you have superpowers. So you are my superstar. You are my superstar, sunshine. And then he'll be smiling. So I encourage him to not leave those things. He likes using his hands for activities. He's a hands-on person. He loves music. Anything he will grab, he will draw. Anything he will grab, he will start fixing it and molding something. And when you ask him, he will explain to you the motive behind it, why he's doing it, and what can that thing be used for. So I encourage him so well to never to give up on his talent, because with the passion burning in him, he can develop it and then he can use it to his own advantage. So hands-on, that one, number one, very, what do you call it? He loves to do art, he loves to sing, he wants to play all the drums, he wants to play all the musical instruments, and things that he likes to help. The moment he sees you doing something, he will come around and start asking questions and start trying to do it with you. And the moment is done. If you turn away, you come back and you see him emulating the same thing and even more. So I tell him, we are done here. I don't want to see you here. Don't come and do it alone. When I'm coming to do it again, I will call you to assist me. Then he will tell you, okay, will you give me a task in it? Then I'll say yes. So sharing those responsibilities with him, he will remind you, you said we will do this. When are we doing it? Because he wants to get his hands on something. So that's what we realize, that those are his talents and we are using it to his advantage. The moment you get him you give him the bigger picture about everything, when you start teaching him, he starts connecting to it, which produces the results that we are getting.
Wow, beautiful. Like I can connect with whatever the two of you are saying. If you are not in my position or you are not a special educator, you probably won't connect well with what they are saying. But I really connect to everything because I'm a hands-on person. I mean, for somebody who started reading around the age of 17, you can just imagine what I went through. So I can connect to everything they are saying, and I'm grateful that this help is there for Neofi. How old is Neofi now?
He's now 12.
He's now 12. So great. The intervention is working and he will get better. Does it mean dyslexia is going to leave him? No, but it's going, with the help and support Ida is offering through this journey, is going to make him better than me, because to me, to date, I still can't pronounce certain things, and it might shock you, but I will see, especially names, I will see it and I'm like, what name is this, or what word is this? I still struggle because I haven't gotten any intervention. I just bullied myself through through my education journey. But early intervention is very important. Have screening done, get to know what the condition is, because sometimes you might have a child in your home or in your class that is low in reading and learning like this, but it might not be also dyslexia. And I'm sure Ida can share more about it when we come to it might not be dyslexia, it can be something else. That is why it is important you have the assessment done for them to determine. And I see a question asked that where can we have assessment done? There are a couple of places we can connect you to. Just get in touch with us on the Africa Dyslexia page if you are there. If you are not, just send me a message if you have my contact, or visit our website, www.africadyslexia.org, and you'll find my contact and we can link you to places you can go and have assessment done. Yes, Miss Ida is in Ghana. She lives in Ghana. So in case you need her contact or something, get in touch and we'll be able to connect you to her. Miss Ida, I know you teach different group of people, people with learning difficulties and even autism, people with autism as well. How are you able to identify the strengths of your students and be able to match it with the right learning method? And I know you use the Alton Gillingham learning approach. So how do you go about it? And how do you take it, and at what point do you start seeing difference?
Well, every child is different. So someone's progress might be seen quicker than the other person. And that being said, when it comes to identifying a child's strengths, it mainly comes up through observation. I would need to look, listen, watch. And there are times when I would just give a child a task to do. You might not know why I say the child should do this or do that, or not do this or not do that, or try something else in another way. I do all those things because I want to know how best to be able to get or reach my students' heart. By saying this, there are some students I realize, there are some I thought previously where you would try the art, it won't work. You would try other different approaches, wanting the person to even use this, and it still won't work. But then there are times then I just want to have a conversation, just chat. And in chatting, I pick up what the student says. That you would hear a child talking or telling me things that to you, it feels useless. Why are you saying this? Why are you asking the child all these questions? You are here to teach. So teach and go. But I know what I am looking for. I know what I am aiming at. So then I would want the child to be able to express him or herself to me. And I keep on telling my students, you can call me anytime that you want. Call me morning, afternoon, evening, anytime at all that you want to. Just go ahead and give me the call. If there are times you are having any challenge and you get confused with something or you don't know what to do, you can voice record a message for me. I'm good with that. And I do all these things because I want to be able to know how best to reach them, and that aside, to be their friend. Because you share things with your friends. You usually would not share things with your teachers. You would prefer sharing things with your friends than your teachers. So if you see me as a friend, then you can talk about anything and everything with me. And as you keep talking, I keep learning more from you. And as I keep learning more from you, I also keep finding ways that I could also use to assist you and assist myself also, or learn how best to be able to help you too.
Wow, what an effort you make for our precious students. And I thank you so much for availing yourself for this journey, because I know it's not easy. Taking myself into account, like you teach me, you ask me tomorrow, I'm like, I don't remember. So if you meet students like me, I'm sure it's so exhausting. But what message, if we ask you as Ida, what message can you tell our fellow teachers out there who are not special educators, but a message to tell them how they should handle children like that? Because you might go on sharing your motivation as to what even motivated you to do this, and what message you can share to our teachers out there.
Personally, I like challenges a lot. I don't know why, but I tend to have the delight in knowing that I wanted to achieve this and I've been able to achieve that. And when it's achieved, I yearn for more. And that has been the motivating factor for me. I love to see that a goal that I set my mind to has been able to come to fruition. And when that is done, it gives me a whole lot of joy. Knowing that I have a student who has this challenge or has that challenge and needs help alone, it's one big thing for me. And that's something that my husband always says, that when I put my mind to something, I want to see it done. And if I don't see it done, I tend to bother him a lot, because I would keep asking and keep fidgeting with things, trying this, trying that, and all that. So that has been my motivation, wanting to be able to achieve a goal and doing it, not just doing it, but doing it and doing it well. Because I see teaching as someone's life in your hands. If the person should grow up in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, when you aren't around, what have you been able to impact onto that child? What goal has that child been able to achieve? How well have you been able to do things to the extent that that child has achieved their goal, not just achieved the goal, but achieved it in the best possible way that would help the child to go and do everything right independently. So that has been my motivating factor. And in the end, I look at it as, if it is me and someone does that to me, how would I feel? Am I just going to be blaming people, or am I just going to be saying that, okay, so then this is it, so then I'll take it like that? No, I want the best. So if I want the best, I should be able to give up my very best to every child or every student that I teach. That being said, as educators, our work is huge. Our work is really, really, really huge. We don't know it all. You can never know it all in this life. You can't. It's not possible. You can never know it all. There are times we even learn from our students. Not there are times, we always learn from our students. Because being in this field makes you know that you know nothing. And if you know nothing, what are you doing to improve upon yourself and give of your best to the person that you're handling? So we should always strive to make sure that we treat each student separately. Please don't look at someone and compare that person to the next individual by you. It won't work. Even twins are never the same. They could come from the same womb, they could come at different timings, but they are never the same. We tend to look at our fingers, and our fingers are all not the same. I don't know any individual who has the fingers the same. It's never the same. So looking at even our fingers not being the same, that should tell me that this is different from that. And the same way, this is also different from this. But if one is out, can the rest of them work very well? It won't. And if it won't work that well, then how best do I use this to be able to help this and the others to achieve the goal that I need? That is something that we as educators need to keep in mind, because the slightest thing that we get from each and every student, we should make sure that we focus on it. If at the time that the student and the teacher started noticing that you, if he had an issue when he was younger, and probably some of them just even went online to do a research, just pick out that trait you've seen from that child, go on the internet, look for ways to help that child. If you had even picked up on that one trait, you would have seen that there are other things that are associated with this. We don't just have dyslexia, we have a whole lot of other special educational needs. All these other educational needs have different ways in which we can handle them. And one size doesn't fit all. The fact that you tried this strategy on this student and it worked, doesn't mean that when you try that same strategy on another student, it will work. No. So that is where we as educators also, that responsibility comes upon us to make sure that we learn. And in learning, you can never stop learning. Even our creator, he hasn't stopped creating things and giving us things. So since he hasn't stopped doing that, we as individuals, should we also stop trying to learn things new? No. It means there is a constant need to improve upon ourselves, improve upon our knowledge that we have. Whatever information was there about dyslexia 5 years ago, it's not the same today. Things keep changing. Each and every day, new things come up. So if new things are coming up each and every time, am I going to just sit and fold my arms and say that, oh, I knew this thing 5 years ago, so then I'm going to stick to what I know? No. Even a year from now, things are going to change. How well are we going to improve or help our students if we don't keep learning more about them? So that should be our focus as educators. We should learn to improve, find out new ways, new strategies, new things we can do to help out our students. Because in the end, when we are no more there, they are the ones who are going to be training the next generation. And if we train them well, they would also do the same for the other generations.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. You couldn't have said it better than this. One size does not fit all. And so stop boxing all the students into one and say, do you understand? Yes, madam. Yes, sir. And then you move on, leaving some of us behind. You damaging us. So please help us and teach us, be kind. I feel your work is a call, like a ministry. And so if you do it with kind heart and love and interest, you never know tomorrow. You never know tomorrow. There is a short video, I'm not going to share it, but there's this boy who was in class and he can't sit still all the time. And he'll be using pens, smashing on the table all the time. And the teachers will be picking up on him or asking him to go and stand outside. But one teacher took an interest in him and said, no, wait a minute. A boy who picks pencil or pen and hitting the table all the time could be a future drummer, and just handed him 2 pieces of this drumming stick. And today that boy is a world-renowned drummer who goes around the world teaching. And look at the change just by observing a child and be like, no, the child who can't sit still and always holding 2 pens or pencils, hitting the table, making noise. You might think this child is troublesome, but he saw something different. And that's when you, as an educator, you being interested to know about your students, not just about you standing in front of them that matters, but you have an opportunity to make a change. Sabina, what would be your words, because we are about wrapping up, what would be your words for parents? Tell them something from your heart for me.
I want to encourage every parent to take keen interest in their children. You have to love them equally and all. Don't pick the ones that are doing well and leave the ones that are not doing well. You have to observe each of them and then know their interests and see how best you'll be able to help their interests to their advantage. Don't allow people to label your child if you find that your child has a learning disability or your child is not good in something. You have to empower that child. You have to keep encouraging that child to try and keep trying and keep trying. It will work. You have to be persistent. Try and look for possible way of helping your child. Try, pursue till you get what you are looking for. You have to be daring. I am very daring. Until I get the results, I keep changing. I will look for it till I find it. So you don't have to allow, just listen to what society is saying and decide not to do anything about it and decide, okay, it's part of life. That child will grow to fit in, he will outgrow it. No, with the right intervention, he will be the superstar. He will be the star in the midst of everyone. The moment you identify their problems, you have to find a tailored need to suit it. And then you see that the progress will start gradually. You may not get it all done one day. It's a gradual process. It's a journey. No child is dumb. No child is stupid. Every dyslexic child has superpowers. And the moment you identify it, you have to utilize it to the maximum level.
Yes, every child is different. Every child is not dumb. Every child has something in him, something good in him. And when you identify it, you'll be able to make something out of it. Miss Ida, we have a few minutes to go, but somebody has just asked the question that if you can touch on what dyslexia is for us.
Okay, so in simple terms, let's not go the scientific way. Let's just simplify everything to understand. We know that every child there's this, what we call the milestones as a child is progressing or a child is growing. At this age, you know, a child should be in class 1 or year 1. When the child is 6, the child will be in class 1. The child is 7, year 2, then it progresses like that. In year 1, a child is supposed to know how to read the basic things. Let's say, I am a boy, I am a girl. These small things, the three letters or the 3-letter worded things, a child is supposed to be able to do it. But here is a case that I am a student. I am not able to read. I can't even identify the letters. I don't know what A is. I don't know what B is. I don't know what the alphabets are. I see the letters of the alphabets and I get confused. So you ask me to read, and then you would look at me, and then you start to feel that, is this child okay? That should tell you that I have a challenge. Especially in looking at the letters B and in looking at the letters D. These two are very, very confusing for a dyslexic. A child would see the letter, you can even tell the child to write the letter B. You can write it there. And if the child has even grown to a stage, he would swap it, or she would swap it and write it as a D for you. This is something that happens to all dyslexics that I have worked with. It's a normal thing. So there are times when, I remember when I was in mainstream school, I always have my pencil. When I go around and I see one of my girls write, or there's a spelling that she's supposed to do, she'll just look at me, and she looks at me, and then I know what she's saying. So I get to her with my pencil, and she swaps the thing, and then I just write with the pencil on it for her. Then she corrects it. If you start noticing these things about your child, please don't sit. You can read online about dyslexia. It's a whole lot of other things. In our simplest basic form is what I've explained, being you having issues with reading and writing and seeing the alphabets. Sometimes they tend to see the alphabets dancing in a very comical way. If you ask a child who has not been assessed, and you would even want, there are several questions, but I can't be given all that information here. You need to go and see a specialist, and that specialist would screen the child, would even give you further recommendation as to things that you could do. And there is help. There is help. So all we need to do is that we should just make sure that we make use of the help that is available. If you realize that your child is dyslexic, it's not the end of the world. Please, no, it's not. It's just telling you that it's the beginning. That's the start. And that is where you, as I said in the initial stage, it's a puzzle. Everything has been taken out of it. How do you fix your things together? You make sure your puzzle is well formed. You look at it, and then you see the image and you love it. That is what we need to do. Let's seek for help. Screen our students, screen our babies, make sure, not, I don't mean babies like the baby, no, but our kids, let's screen them. Let's make sure that we get them the help. And please, the labeling, the tagging, we are tired of it. We should stop. These things are not going to help a student to progress. If you realize that your child is not progressing or is not doing well, why don't you try to befriend that child? Find out why the child is not progressing. And as the child comes off and tells you how the person feels, it would make you understand the child better. And we can get the help for that student. No matter the age, learning does not stop. So even when we are 100 years old, we would still learn. So please, and please again, no matter the age, no matter the child, no matter the gender, no matter anything, get a child screened. There is help available, and let's make sure we use it, please.
Oh, she said it all. Like, she has even done my work for me that I don't have to do close end. But we have some great comments in the chats where people are joining from Monrovia, which is Liberia, over here on Facebook as well. Someone, Ida, your story is so encouraging. More parents need to give their dyslexic children an opportunity to learn. Regarding self-confidence, self-confidence is great achievement for any child who has struggled with learning. That's always the turning point. So good to know that everyone in the family is working together with him through this journey. Thank you, Superwoman. That's to you, Aida. Sabina. Well done, super coach, which is to you, Ida. God bless you for all you are doing to make learning effective for your students. Educative program, very nice one. So we have great comments coming from Facebook and over here as well. People, Ida, well done. I'm so proud of you. Is there a course on dyslexia for teachers in Ghana? So Africa Dyslexia Organization, from time to time, we organize some of these to bring experts like Ida and different people to show you on how you can teach a child with dyslexia. But there are specific programs out there which Ida is specialized in the Alton Gillingham learning approach. There is the Davies, there is the Nessie approach as well, which if you are interested, then you would have to look into that. But if you need the list of them, you can contact me after the program and I can give you those list of learning intervention programs that you can take. They are paid for, but you can take. We do also have some complimentary dyslexia training from Nessie, from Made by Dyslexia, and other even University of Bristol. So we have all of them. If you contact me, I can share them with you and you can take. Also, when you go onto our YouTube channel, all the past trainings and webinars we've had is uploaded there, and they are good resource for you to kind of enrich your knowledge on dyslexia and how to help children with learning difficulties. So at this moment, this brings to the end of our webinar, but I would like to say a very big thank you to Sabina for the great work you are doing as a parent. You know, you are the only one that can do this before you can bring Ida in. Ida cannot just wake up and come and approach you that, hey, I want to take care of your child. So the first steps start from the house, from the home. And you did it together with the siblings and your husband. And I applaud you for the hard work you have done. This is a good example to you watching if you are a parent and you are lost. Sabina is somebody who is kind and she will be able to speak to you, to calm you down and give you tips as to how you can manage this through. And if you want to speak to her, just get in touch with me and I'll ask her permission and share her contact with you. And Ida, God bless you. I wish I met you, somebody like you on my journey. Trust me, I wish I met you because I went through horrible experience where to date that I am an adult, I'm still living in the effects or the impact of those words that were said to me, I'm sitting here and there will be a great opportunity, even though I'm so qualified or overqualified for it, I'll be asking myself, am I good for it? Can I go and pull it off? And it's not my fault because I heard you're not good for so long of a time. And that is why I wish I met somebody like you. And I celebrate you for the great work you're doing for people in Ghana and many other teachers who have putting themselves down to be on this journey. I know it's not easy, but the reward is coming. You never know what Neofi is going to be. Who thought Thomas Edison will be the inventor of light bulbs? But today we are all enjoying his work, and he happened to be dyslexic. So you never know. Neofi is coming to be an engineer and bringing, and you will be the superstar he's going to mention all the time. And so God bless you for your efforts. For those asking for the, yeah, you can go ahead.
Auntie Rosalin, actually, now I even owe you a fee. He said he wants to be an architect. And as such, I am supposed to link him up to my husband who does building drawings. So he's already started. He's already started putting up his plans. So we are on our way. So very soon when we get to wherever we want to get to, you will know of it.
Can you imagine, because of that, identifying his strength? And that is the beauty of it. And I can tell you, Neofi is either going to end up in engineering or architecture, because for a boy who can pick things and start fixing wires, it doesn't come natural with anybody. And we are on to something, but let's be positive. Let's keep empowering him. Let's keep empowering all students in our school to be better, because everybody is good at something. Everybody is a great star. With the right intervention, learning programs, we can shine. And I want you to give that hope to somebody. For those of you asking for the recordings, I will post it in the Africa Dyslexia group, which I have put in the link over here. So I'm just giving a minute for you to go back and just join the group, because that's where I'll be putting it. Because this program wasn't registered, so I don't have your email addresses that I'll be able to forward them to you. So if you join the group, I'll post it there and you can pick it. If you finish, you can exit the group if you want. But some of us, it's a permanent group for us where we connect and meet and ask questions and share things between us. Thank you so much, Sabina. Thank you, Ida. Have a blessed evening. Thank you, everyone who also made yourself to join. I hope this benefited you and it wasn't a waste of your time. I hope you benefited. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be bringing you more of this content sometime soon. I will update you all. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Okay, so I'm done streaming live on Facebook. So you can connect here or you can exit when you are ready. But this was great.
Yes.